Welcome back to Aikidoflow. 5 things you need to know that will save your life in a street fight. Okay, number 1, stay calm and talk them down. We are living in unbelievably stressed times and everything is on a knife edge, and the smallest tinder can just set light to everything and burn the whole place down. Okay, so stress is a major issue. So as you're coming into a situation, stay calm and firm. Okay, when I say calm, I don't mean, oh, please don't hurt me. I don't mean that. I mean calm but firm. When you're firm, people have to understand that if they do make the decision to go up against you, that you're going to give them trouble. They're not going to be able to do it easily. But if you stay calm, then you de-escalate the situation. And what you want to do is you want to calm things down purely for your own self-interest, because the more escalated the situation is, the more adrenaline gets pumped into your opponent, which means the more power they have. I bet you didn't know that one. So de-escalate the situation. Let's keep the adrenaline and the power and the anger out of our opponent so they can be more reasonable. Once that adrenaline starts pumping through their body, any reason is going to go out of their mind and they're not going to be able to reason through anything.
Number 2, be confident, but at the same time, there's a borderline between being confident and not being cocky. Okay, don't get too cocky. Talk clearly and make sense in what you say. Okay, you need to be confident. Okay, you need to show your attacker that you're confident. You've got no fears here. I'm confident. Okay, if it's gonna go down, it's gonna go down. I'm confident that either I'm going to hurt you or we're both going to get hurt or whatever. It's really not worth it, okay? Talk clearly, okay? You need to be able to articulate yourself. If you start to mumble, rant or rave, or it just gives your attacker an opportunity to retaliate, even if it's just verbally. If you're not speaking clearly, you're not speaking intelligently, you're just throwing out cusses and words and swearing and shouting, it's not going to do you any good. You just need to be confident, but don't be cocky. Don't give your attacker the impression that you're so confident that you're going to take that person down. They'll see it as disrespectful and it will just agitate them even more, and they will definitely want to get into a physical altercation with you.
Number 3, watch the body language, okay? Keep your eye on your opponent's body. See what's going on. You will be able to see if he is preparing to launch an attack. An attack doesn't come from nowhere, okay? It normally comes from the ground up. What normally happens is the first thing that shift are the feet, okay? The feet shift to create stabilization to be able to launch an attack. So keep your eyes on the body language, the angles, where people are going to move, how people, whether or not, a classic one that we always used to use in the dojo is always look around the neck. If you start to see the neck start to tense up, okay, then people are getting prepared to attack. They're getting prepared to punch, they're getting prepared to kick. They're beginning to tense themselves up. Another thing that you can look for is, are they starting to breathe more heavily? If they're starting to breathe heavily, it means that the heart is starting to pump faster, which means the adrenaline is starting to pump into their body. So have a look at the body language, have a look and see what's going on, whether or not they're a classic one is when they step back, they put one foot back, okay? What they're doing is, when you have one foot back, you're basically preparing to actually move forward. I know that sounds contradictory, but when you step back, you're actually preparing to move forward. Okay, so look for these signs, and to be honest with you, these aren't hidden secrets. Okay, this is something that you naturally would have learned over the years of just being around people when you're growing up as a kid. The problem is that in recent years, as you start to get older, you tend to ignore these natural abilities. You tend to be more concerned with making money and buying stuff, and you don't actually look at the body language. So everything is already there. Just pay attention to what's going on.
Number 4, okay? Know your escape routes, okay? Now, we've always advocated here on Aikidoflow that the best thing to do is to walk away, okay? So if you're in a confrontational situation, you need to walk away, but you need to know where to go to, You might have to run. This person you're in a confrontation with might have people coming and you didn't know. So when you see them coming over the shoulder, you need to get out of there, okay? You need to know your escape route. If I'm in a confrontation with somebody and I'm gonna walk away, I keep my distance. While I keep my distance, I'm looking around to see where I can escape to. You can do it very discreetly if you need to, while you're talking to your attacker, say, look, I don't want any trouble, I'm just glancing around, I don't want to fight, it really isn't necessary. And all the time you're looking around, and I'm looking, I see, okay, there's the exit, could be in a club or a bar, there's a fire exit there. I know where I'm going to run before this kicks off. Or even if you're just going to walk away, like we said in the previous video, maybe it's not a good idea to run away, because then you might get chased, adrenaline goes up, and then they'll react foolishly. So maybe just walk away calmly, but you need to know where to walk to, because for a time that person could continue to follow you. And if you walk off down a dead end and you turn around, that person's still behind you, the confrontation is going to continue. So you need to walk in such a way that you're going to go in a direction where they don't want to go. You might be getting on a bus going towards the south. They live in the north. They're not going to get on a bus and follow you. Or into a train station or something rather, somewhere it's well lit, lots of cameras, lots of people around. Even just a walk around the corner can be a decent escape route if you're into a public place where there's a lot more eyes upon you. You just need to know which way to go, know your surroundings, know where to escape to.
Number 5 is, are there any dangerous weapons around you that either you can use if you absolutely have to, even though we're not advocating it, or that can be used against you, which is probably more important. Have a look around, see what's going on. I mean, I've seen people run over, okay, and pick up rubbish bins and smash it across people, okay? So really, there's a whole host of things that can be used against you, but I mean, let's look at the simple things. Let's make sure that around you, there's not anything that could really be used against you that would be devastating, okay? If you're seeing any of that stuff, you really need to be shifting yourself away from that as soon as you possibly can, because you need to get out of a situation where things can't escalate out of control. Because what can very, very easily happen is things start to go wrong, okay? Everything starts to escalate, and I've seen it before. What happens is you start a fight and something happens, okay? You hit somebody, like they go down, they get up and they run to go and get a weapon, okay? And then when they come back, whether or not it's a bar, it's something in the rubbish bin, like whatever it is, like, and they come back, and then when they have a weapon against you, then it's a completely different game. Now you're talking about something completely different. You're now going up against people or a person with a weapon, and you absolutely don't want that. So pay attention to your surroundings in general and see what is there and what potentially can be used against you. I just want to remind you about our online training academy. If you want more detail about our style and how it works, that's where you'll find it. Links are in the description. In conclusion, as we always advocate, use the easiest way, route, direction first, okay? Come out of the situation, okay? Don't bring yourself into the situation. Do not escalate the situation at all, okay? But if it does escalate, well then obviously keep into consideration the things that we've told you, okay? And like everything, consider these things, and if you're training in a dojo or you're training by yourself, okay, practice some of these things. Don't expect to just watch one of our videos and then step out into a conflict situation and expect things to work. You need to practice these things, you need to think about these things, you need to run over these things, and you need to be comfortable with the things that we're telling you. And to be honest with you, that goes for all of our videos. Practice, practice, practice. Put aside some time, have a think about what we've been talking about in this video, and practice it. And I'm telling you now, it will help you. I'll see you on the next video.